My husband smiled, kissed my forehead, and said, "Just a few minutes." Then he walked toward the back of the department store and disappeared. 10 minutes became 20. 30 became 40. I was about to call him when a nervous store employee quietly walked over, glanced around to make sure no one was listening, and whispered, "Ma'am, please come with me. There's something you need to see." My heart dropped. I followed her through an employees-only hallway, expecting an accident. Instead, one locked security room and a single surveillance screen revealed a secret that shattered 24 years of marriage. My name is Emily Carter, and I'm 29 years old. Until that Saturday afternoon, I believed I had the kind of marriage people quietly envied. My husband, Daniel, and I had been together for 11 years, married for 8. He wasn't overly romantic, but he was dependable. He remembered birthdays, brought me coffee every Sunday morning, and somehow always knew when I needed a hug without me saying a word. At least, that's what I believed. 3 days before our anniversary, we drove to Brookstone Plaza to pick up a few things for a small dinner we were planning at home. Nothing fancy, just the two of us, like always. Daniel seemed unusually cheerful. "I'll finally buy you that necklace you've been looking at," he said with a grin. I laughed. "You've already spoiled me enough." He squeezed my hand. "You deserve it." Those words stayed in my mind long after everything else fell apart. We wandered through the department store together, joking about ridiculous kitchen gadgets and arguing over which coffee machine looked better. For a while, everything felt normal. When we reached the jewelry department, Daniel suddenly checked his phone. "Oh," he muttered. "What is it?" I completely forgot something. He leaned over and kissed my forehead. "Just a few minutes," he said with a reassuring smile. "Wait here. I'll be right back." I watched him disappear around the corner without giving it another thought. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. I wandered through nearby displays, pretending to compare bracelets while glancing toward the hallway every few seconds. 15 minutes. I texted him, "Everything okay?" No reply. 25 minutes. I called. Straight to voicemail. A strange feeling settled in my stomach. Daniel never ignored my calls. Not once. I walked toward customer service. "Excuse me," I asked politely. "Have you seen a man in a navy blazer come through here?" The young cashier smiled apologetically. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I haven't." As I turned away, I noticed another employee watching me from several aisles away. The moment our eyes met, she quickly looked down. Odd. A few minutes later, she quietly approached me. She looked to be in her early 20s, wearing the store's blue uniform. "Mrs. Carter?" she asked softly. I frowned. "Yes." She glanced around as though making sure nobody was paying attention. "Would you come with me?" "Why?" Her expression tightened. "I can't explain out here. Every instinct told me something was wrong." "Is my husband hurt?" Her eyes widened. "No, not exactly." The hesitation in her voice sent a chill through me. She led me past a door marked employees only, through a narrow hallway that smelled of cardboard boxes and fresh paint. We stopped outside a small security office. Inside, 2 monitors displayed live camera feeds from different parts of the store. The young employee quietly spoke to the older security supervisor. He looked at me with obvious sympathy before replaying a recording from 20 minutes earlier. The screen showed Daniel. He wasn't shopping. He wasn't lost. He walked confidently toward a side entrance where a stylish blonde woman was already waiting. The second she saw him, she smiled. He smiled back. Then they embraced. Not the awkward hug of old friends. Not the quick greeting of coworkers. It was intimate, comfortable, familiar. She gently touched his face before slipping her hand into his. Together, they walked through the employee exit as if they'd done it many times before. My knees felt weak. "There has to be some mistake," I whispered. The employee lowered her eyes. "I wish there was." Then she looked back at the frozen image on the monitor before quietly saying the words that shattered what was left of my world. "Ma'am, that's not the worst part." I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. Daniel's fingers were still intertwined with hers as they disappeared through the employee exit. They looked comfortable together. Natural. like two people who had repeated the same routine countless times. The security recording stopped. Silence filled the room. Finally, the young employee spoke. "I'm really sorry." I swallowed hard. "How long have you seen them?" She looked at the floor before answering. "Almost 8 months." The words hit me harder than the video. 8 months. She nodded. "They usually come in on Saturday afternoons. He tells you he's shopping or running an errand, then meets her near the side entrance. We aren't supposed to interfere with customers, but—" Her voice trembled. "You looked so happy waiting for him today." The security supervisor quietly added, "She wanted to tell you weeks ago." I kept saying it wasn't our place. I thanked them, though I barely recognized my own voice. Walking back to my car felt unreal. I sat behind the steering wheel for nearly 20 minutes before Daniel finally called. "Hey, he said cheerfully.
"Sorry."
My phone died. I ran into an old college friend and completely lost track of time. I closed my eyes. What friend? Oh, Mark. I knew he was lying. Mark had moved to Oregon 3 years earlier. Still, I forced myself to sound normal. "That's okay. I'm heading home." "Perfect. I'll meet you there." For the first time in our marriage, I beat him home and pretended nothing had happened. That evening he laughed through dinner, complimented the pasta I'd made, kissed my forehead, and asked what movie I wanted to watch. Every smile felt rehearsed. Every word sounded fake. I didn't confront him. Not yet. If he'd lied so easily once, he'd lie again. Instead, I started paying attention. The next morning, while Daniel showered, I opened our online banking account. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then I noticed dozens of charges from places I'd never visited. Boutique hotels, expensive restaurants, luxury flower shops. Most of the transactions happened on weekdays when Daniel claimed he was working late. A week later, I quietly checked the glove compartment while he mowed the lawn. Hidden beneath the owner's manual was a stack of fuel receipts from a neighboring city nearly 90 minutes away. None of his business meetings were ever there. The lies were beginning to form a pattern. I hired a licensed private investigator. It was the hardest phone call I'd ever made. 5 days later, the investigator slid a thick envelope across the table inside a quiet cafe. "I wish I had better news," he said gently. Inside were photographs. Daniel holding the same blonde woman's hand. The two of them leaving restaurants, checking into hotels, walking through a park, laughing together. One picture showed them wearing matching anniversary wristbands at a lakeside resort. The date printed beneath the photo made my stomach twist. That weekend, Daniel had told me he was attending an overnight leadership conference. I thanked the investigator and walked outside into the cold afternoon air. As I reached my car, my phone buzzed. An unfamiliar number. I almost ignored it. Instead, I answered. A woman's calm voice came through the speaker. "Emily." "Yes." "My name is Claire." My heart pounded. "I'm the woman you've been looking for." I couldn't breathe. Then she quietly said something I never expected. "Please don't hang up, because there's something you deserve to know." I sat in my car holding the phone to my ear, unable to say anything. The woman on the other end didn't sound angry. She didn't sound like someone trying to defend herself. She sounded broken. "Emily, I know what this looks like," she said quietly. "And I know you probably hate me right now. But I need you to understand something." I stared through the windshield at the crowded parking lot. "Who are you, Claire?" There was a long pause. "I'm Daniel's girlfriend." Hearing those words out loud felt different from seeing the evidence. Pictures could be questioned. Receipts could be explained. But a person admitting the truth was impossible to ignore. "How long?" I asked. "Almost 2 years." I closed my eyes. 2 years. 2 years of anniversaries. 2 years of birthdays. 2 years of Daniel coming home, kissing me, and pretending everything was normal. "Did you know he was married?" Her voice immediately changed.
"No."
I could hear tears forming. "He told me he was separated. He said you were only staying together because of finances and that the divorce paperwork was already being prepared." A strange feeling came over me. Not relief, not forgiveness, just sadness. Because Daniel hadn't only betrayed me. He had built a completely different version of reality for someone else. Claire and I agreed to meet at a quiet coffee shop the next day. She arrived carrying her own folder. Inside were screenshots of messages Daniel had sent her. Promises, plans, future conversations. The same things he had said to me years earlier. "I can't believe I was helping him lie to you," Claire whispered. I looked through the messages. One sentence caught my attention. "Once everything is finalized, we can finally start our real life together." My hands shook. Real life. Apparently, the life we had built together was just something he wanted to leave behind. I didn't cry. I thought I would. But after months of hidden lies, something inside me had gone quiet. When Daniel came home that evening, I was sitting at the kitchen table. He smiled. "Hey, you okay?" I looked at him differently. For the first time, I wasn't seeing my husband. I was seeing someone I barely knew. "Daniel, who is Claire?" The color disappeared from his face. Just for a second. But it was enough. "Who told you that name?" I placed the folder on the table. His expression changed as he opened it. The excuses started immediately. "Emily, it's not what you think." I almost laughed. That was always the first sentence people said when they knew exactly what it was. "You lied to me for 2 years. It's complicated." "No," I said calmly. "It's actually very simple." I pushed the photos toward him. "You made choices." He sat there silently. For once, he had nothing prepared. The man who always knew what to say suddenly had no words. "I loved you," I said. "I trusted you. But I cannot build a future with someone who destroyed the truth of our past." He reached for my hand. I pulled away, not because I hated him, because I finally respected myself enough not to accept less than honesty. The divorce process was painful. There were difficult conversations, difficult days, and moments when I questioned everything. But slowly, I began rebuilding. I changed my routine. I reconnected with friends. I started doing things I had forgotten I loved. Months later, I walked past that same department store. I stopped for a moment and remembered the day an employee whispered those words to me. "Ma'am, please come with me." At the time, I thought she was leading me toward heartbreak, but she was actually leading me toward the truth. And sometimes, the truth hurts before it sets you free.